right, so I just got word from the guys that a very large package was dropped off yesterday. I don't know what it is. Some guys came, big black truck, big black van, and they dropped off this huge box. All they know is it's got a Harley Davidson logo on it. That is huge. Look at this. Greg! Yo, you seeing this?
Oh my word.
What is this? This is huge. You guys see what it says?
What is it?
It says weapon and top secret. That sucker is heavy. Holy cow, man. It looks like it's from Harley. I don't know what that CXXX1 is. There's no Harley outfit in there. It's not a scooter. Harley doesn't make scooters. Does Harley make guns? Crowbar, come on. Do we have a crowbar? We need a crowbar sponsor. All right, we'll just use a big screwdriver, I guess. Do we need a drill?
I don't think so. Here, let's try this.
That makes more sense.
Do you want to do the honors?
The honors is getting this thing out as soon as we possibly can, because I want to see what this thing is. I think it's gonna be some type of like top secret Harley Davidson unicycle. 2 wheels on both sides. You stand straight up. Huge V-twin engine.
I think it's going to be like a Harley bedroom set. It's going to be pillows and a comforter.
That'd be nice.
Some sheets.
Harley's just messing with us.
It's like one of those Russian
disappointment games.
Disappointment games where you're like, you keep opening it, and it's just smaller and smaller and smaller. Some little boxes.
Oil cooler for the Milwaukee Gate. This is parts for my my 21 Road King. It's an oil cooler.
Nice oil cooler. Exhaust shield.
Exhaust shield. All right.
Here, do you want to knock open the rest of the crate?
All right.
Well, that was easy.
How you like that? Just like Christmas, it's important you go to the biggest box first.
And you hope it's not filled with sweaters. Oh, man.
Dan, what do you think it is?
Ottoman.
An ottoman?
You know what that stands for? It's Screaming Eagle. It's not a secret outfit. This, my friends, is the baddest motor Harley Davidson. It's a crate motor. You can see it came in a crate. This is the 131 motor. This thing's gonna get us to like 150 horsepower. It's gonna increase our horsepower by 50%, and then it's gonna be the next step to get us to that 200 horsepower once we turbocharge it. This is their performance, their biggest, baddest, meanest performance motor that they've ever built. Although Harley has provided crate engines throughout the history of the company, and including World War II, the 131 is unique to the Screaming Eagle brand. But this all started in 2010 with the legendary 120R motor, which was part of the Harley Davidson NHDRA drag racing development program. Then a street version of that engine came out in 2015 that was full emissions compliant and had a full warranty, which is pretty much unheard of in the industry. But when Harley released the new M8 motor in 2017, they needed something to tempt the racing dogs and the crazy horsepower maniacs like myself. So they created the largest engine they've ever produced, a 2147cc 131 cubic inch factory crate engine. And if you were wondering, the answer is yes. The same guys who designed this motor are the same guys leading the championship winning King of the Baggers race team. There's only one thing we gotta do now. Let's go stick it in.
Let's do it. I'm excited. Are you excited?
What's up, Brandon?
What's going on, man?
What's up, man? How you doing, bud?
Greg? Yeah,
Good to see
man.
you.
Yeah.
All right, so what's the, we got the parts.
Yeah.
Got the bike, got to put it up on the lift. What's the game plan for today?
We're gonna pull that. We'll pull that powertrain. We're gonna get that 131 in it, and we'll see what it does. We already did a baseline on that, so we already know exactly what that bike's doing. And yeah, Craig and I will make some good work, and
I'll try not to hold you guys back so much.
it's not bad. It's big pieces. We're taking big pieces off.
He said one person takes 6 hours. With two experienced people, 3 hours. With all three of us, 7 hours. 9 hours.
Yeah.
Well, just like Brandon said, a few months ago when we bought the bike, we brought it here to get a baseline of the horsepower and torque numbers. We wanted to do this before we did any modifications, and it did what we expected. 82 horsepower and 109 foot-pounds of torque, which is pretty far from our goal of 200 and 200. Before we tear it as Road King, we need to finish opening up all the boxes and see all the stuff that Harley sent us. It's a high 8-foot oil pump. Yeah, we're going all the way.
I got you. Some of this isn't today.
Do we even know what all we have?
We don't.
Yeah, here's. Okay. You've got the real deal, the nice,
And it quickly became clear that not only did we want to hit some big horsepower numbers, but so did Harley, because they gave us the tools to do it.
That's awesome.
And the way this is going to work is the oil comes in, and as this spins and turns, it's squeezing the oil in and pumping it and creating the pressure.
Oh, here's the cable to connect it. Let's hang it. So it's hanging right here. So you gotta duck.
I mean, really, we should probably try and set a record today on getting this engine in and out.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Yes, I like that.
Let's disconnect the battery.
Is there much room in here that I can go wide, maybe bigger beach bars with these cables, stock?
Higher or wider?
Wide.
Not too much. So we can reroute them slightly and get maybe 2 or 3 inches of more, but they are pretty tight. If you pull them out of this retainer here, you can get them to come up a little bit more, but they are pretty close.
You can take these pegs off first?
So if somebody's letting you use tools out of their toolbox, there's a couple things you have to remember. Don't lose them or break them, and always put them back clean. I was going to bring some of my tools.
You're welcome to use everything I got here.
That'll probably work, right, Brandon?
Yeah. It'll melt it pretty good. Yeah, I'll tell you what. If you do have a problem in your wiring, you'll find it that way for sure. It likes to let the smoke out pretty quick.
So I took my spot on the left side of the bike, which was very strategic. And the reason I did that is because I thought that side was going to be easier. All I have to deal with over here is taking the footboard off and taking the primary off. The guys on the right side, they have to deal with the exhaust, they have to deal with the fuel system. There's just a lot more going on over there.
Here's the smallest ratchet.
No, I got it. Here, I'll switch you out.
Okay. Here's the smallest ratchet. Now it might look like I was doing all the super hard and impressive mechanicking and giving all the easy stuff to Craig. But the truth is, sometimes that's just how I roll. And Craig needs a break every once in a while. And Craig's got delicate fingers.
Now that the outer primary cover's off, I always take the compensator sprocket, the primary chain, and the clutch pack off all as one unit. After that's out, we can get to the inner primary bolts, pull that off, and then it's just a matter of the bolts going from the engine to the transmission. It just looks like something Harley would do. They're just going to add a bunch of heavy, thick steel things. So these are actually springs. If you look, you have a concave with 2 convex sides together. That creates a spring. These are real easy to know where they go because one's longer than the other. Pro tip.
That might have some of the... Oh, that's just our installation instructions.
You're showing. Up, okay. This side is up. This goes up.
So now that the primary's off, the exhaust is off, the floorboards are off, and all the hoses and wires are off and out of the way, it's time for us to grab some tape, protect this frame, and get this engine pulled.
Yeah, let's do it. What do you grab?
We gotta get it a little further.
Now I have to admit that this goes against the old saying that my grandfather taught me. Don't fix it if it ain't broke. So to justify my actions, I have to tell myself, And I think we can all agree on this, that any street bike with less than 120 horsepower is broke.
You guys need me to do, but
Well, let's just grab that. Yeah, the shaft, and then we got roots. Kick it, angle it. We gotta pull, just angle a little bit
that
more.
gasket's falling out.
Oh no, is it?
Yeah.
All right, let's come back. Because we kind of have to like go on an angle.
Okay. So we're able to lift it up. We can't really angle it ourselves. So you need to be the guy pulling that angle.
This thing.
Yep.
There we go.
There we go. Now we can start lowering in.
Oh wait, are those plugs on your side?
Oh no, we didn't pull plugs. Okay, let's do it again.
We're getting better at this.
All right.
Looking plugs on this side. They were really cool. Oh, the kids are talking about them.
Here we go. Just move it like that. There we go.
These are torqued to German spec, which is Guten tight, and then that should hold them in there.
Craig's got all the jokes. Craig's got all those German mechanicling. Another thing about working with an expert like Brandon, not only does he know how to do everything here because he's done it so many times, but he also has all the specialty tools to do the job. And he knows every size socket and tool for every nut and bolt by memory, like a robot. So to give you a little backstory on why we're doing this project, a few months ago I purchased a very, very rare Harley Davidson Destroyer. It was about one of maybe around 600 ever built. And it was an out-of-the-box 9-second drag racing bike. But since it sat on display for 14 years since it was brand new, I was told that if I tried to race it, it would most likely break. And I couldn't break the bike, it was too rare. And my dreams of running a 9-second quarter mile on a Harley Davidson died that day. But I decided that I would build my own 9-second bike, and instead of using a V-Rod, I was going to use the best Harley Davidson ever, the Harley Davidson Road King. Now, if you're wondering what happened to that Destroyer, well, it's kind of a strange story, and my lawyers have told me I cannot talk about it publicly, but hopefully I can fill you guys in soon. Dan, I think we're about ready to fire this thing up.
Yeah, pretty close.
You can't go doing all this time and energy and putting bigger motors in it without having wheels that look this bad. I'm trying to be honest. I probably could have done 99, if not all this myself, but I would have scratched everything up. I would have broken tons of stuff. It would have taken me 3 weeks, and I would never really know if it was done right. Brandon knows exactly what he's doing. Now what are you doing?
Pulling the rotor off here. As long as these magnets want to hold. Can you hold that just a...
Oh, it's magnets.
Yeah.
This plug, check it out. This plug went right here. Jam this sucker back in there. And this plug went right in here. There we go. Bam. Cool.
Wait, a Harley leaking? That doesn't sound right.
I don't like that at all.
And this is ready to go back together.
Ready to fire it up? Fire this thing up.
Yeah, because we can adjust it out here or...
I think we're ready to start this thing up. Not sure what those guys are doing, but we're doing the real important stuff right here. 131 Screaming Eagle Stage IV. Don't touch it. Come on, Dan. Notice how Harley Davidson straps their bikes. This is actually how they strap their bikes down from the factory. This is how we strap down our tank straps. Same type of strap, except this thick. So while it looked like everything was going perfectly as planned, we realized that we had a broken belt, which for a motorcycle that only has 249 miles on it is almost impossible because apparently these belts can last, forever. I've seen these belts last as long as 300,000 miles. Probably what happened was a stone got stuck in there on the first ride that I ever rode because Craig took me down a gravel road on the way home from the dealership. Explain yourself, Brandon.
Hey, you brought the bike here.
Pro tip. Even if you don't know what you're doing, do it with a real serious face. People will think he might know what he's doing. And all of this wrenching has reminded me of one of my favorite verses, Ephesians 2, 8 through 9. For it is by grace that you have been saved through faith. And this is not from yourselves. It is the gift of God, not by works, so that no one can boast. The 131 has a dry clutch like Ducati's, so we just leave this cover open. And hear that grinding and horrible noises and stuff like that. See, that's why Brandon is the master mechanic, and I'm just like the bachelor mechanic. So after we put everything back together, every nut, every bolt, everything torqued down to exact specifications via Harley Davidson, we were ready to fire this thing up. And if it fires up and runs fine, we're gonna throw this thing in the dyno and see what kind of horsepower it makes right now.
Do the honors.
All this work, first fire up ever at 249 miles. And it will tap a little bit. Let's go, Brendan! Let's go, Craig! That's got a really good sound to it. It's not very loud. It's nice and quiet.
No, they're like, yeah, they are kind of like sleepers in a way, though.
I really like that.
You know.
Can't leave that on there, Craig. There we go. We've not spent as much time as Brandon in here, but we spend a lot of time in this room. This is where I go when my wife kicks me out of the house.
Right. So.
All right, so I know what a lot of you guys are thinking. You're thinking you can't put it on the dyno. Just when you got it, you got to break it in. Now, we did let it warm up for a little bit, but let's be honest. The first couple miles, I was going to take this thing on the street anyway. I was going to give it all it's got. So I might as well do it on a dyno where we can actually check all the engine stats while I'm doing it. The biggest question on my mind is, what kind of horsepower are we going to get? Last time we got 82. I can't wait to see what this big engine does.
We're not making it to 6,000. Yeah, that's that speed limiter. So our best one was 138 horsepower, 137 foot-pound. When it was a 114 stock, 82 horsepower, 109 foot-pound, 138, 137. I mean, it's pretty significant difference there.
I think 50 horsepower more.
It'll go more. It can go more.
All right, that wraps up the video. We had a great time with Brandon, and we have a lot more fun stuff to do with that motorcycle. I can't wait to actually ride it. That's going to be a blast. And we got some more stuff, so we're on the road to 200 horsepower. Subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.